And we are back. Pokemon Platinum Hardcore Nuzlocke, only using Eeveelutions for this run. We wiped in our third attempt in the Distortion World to Cyrus last time for that third attempt, so we are rebounding from that. However, for our fourth attempt here, we've got the My Hero nicknames, and we only ended up getting Leafeon and Vaporeon. So the first gym was no problem. Mars had no issues with her either. However, for Gardenia, though, we only have a grass and water type going against her three grass types. She does an immaculate pivot into her ace Roserade against Mirio, our Leafeon, and now we are absolutely in trouble as we cannot hit for super effective and we can barely hit for neutral against one of the best grass types out there. So we are really struggling, and believe it or not, we are going to end up wiping to Gardenia. The Magical Leafs continue to rain down the Oranberry for Reprieve. The return does not do a lot of damage at this point in the game. The Grass Knot comes down. We hold on with 4 HP. We fade away on the Roserade. However, the damage is done. And now between a bleeding out Mirio and Deku at half health, I don't believe we have what it takes to eat a Grass Knot, but we do hang on. Deku is here. Rock Smash with the defense drop, but the Razor Leaf fades away. We lose our Vaporeon. We go back into our Leafeon, get a Fatal Away crit with the return. Hope is not lost, or maybe it is as the Cherum comes down. This is going to be a long, drawn-out fight, so we're going to go for the sand attack, hoping that Cherum misses, but it has Magical Leaf, so what are we doing? We wipe. The fourth attempt is over. How about that fifth attempt, though? Well, for our fifth attempt, we get into the 1v2 against Barry after not Heart Home City, but Jubilife, that first town there before the first gym. And Turtwig is about to have his way with the Vaporeon. Turtwig gets a +6 withdraw, and all we have is Tackle since we learned Water Gun at level 15, and we can't crit through that wall of defense, so Turtwig just takes us down, and we wipe. There goes our fifth attempt. Let's reset, and here we go. Sixth attempt, we got this. We end up running into an Espeon at Valley Windworks. So we've got the Pokemon Coliseum double trouble there on top of the Leafeon, and now we are looking so much better. Let's do it. Mars gave us a little bit of trouble with some crits, but no problem here as we have two really tanky Pokemon in Umbreon and Leafeon, so we're able to beat her without losing anybody. And then in Eterna Forest, we get the Glaceon. So we have 4 Eeveelutions before the second gym. Couldn't be more excited about it. And as you can imagine, Snowpoint the Glaceon completely destroys Gardenia. We just spam our Ice-type move here in the Icy Wind, and we one-shot her first 2 Pokemon in the Turtwig and Cherum. The Roserade comes down. She's big. She's bad. The Grass Knot hits pretty hard, but we drop back. Almost one-shot with the Icy Wind. The Speed Drop comes in, though, and that will turn the tables just enough for the Glaceon to completely clutch. 2 gyms down. And much like the Mars fight between our Leafeon and Umbreon, we completely out-tank the Skuntank, get some nice defense drops with the Rock Smashes, and Jupiter is going to prove no issues for this run. I'm feeling hopeful. I'm feeling good. And then in Wayward Cave, we go ahead and find a Vaporeon and add the 5th member to the team. And that means by the time we make it to Heart Home and run into Bebe, she gives us our 6th team member in the Eevee, and we're probably going to turn that into a Jolteon when we grab a Thunderstone. As far as the Fantina fight goes, we utilize the Umbreon and Eevee going back to back here so we can get those Ghost and Normal type pivots, and it worked out really well. We got the Haunter right where we wanted him, and then we just swap into the Umbreon. The Duskull is gone, the Haunter is here, and it's going to get deleted, and then we're going to have a very favorable matchup against the Miss Magius. So we are learning from our mistakes. This is the 6th attempt, and we're doing everything that you want to see. We've lost Pokemon here before, so we're looking at that. We're reviewing the footage, seeing what happened, and it really helps that we get a critical hit through the confusion. You'll love to see that. You believe in the Umbreon, you believe in Jubilife, and he sees it through to the end. We get the 3rd gym badge. And then after the 3rd gym battle, we run into our rival Barry once again. Utilizing the entire team, we take him down without any issues. And then with our rival Puppy guarding the 4th gym here, we actually get Sunny Shore's debut. The Jolteon comes down and finishes off Barry. No problem. Let's see what Wake is up to. So Crasher Wake here, we took down the Gyarados and Quagsire with no issues. The Leafeon did absolute work. However, the Floatzel gets a nice freeze onto the Leafeon, completely halting us into our tracks. So we just swap into the Vaporeon, tank a little bit, and then we get Umbreon in there to finish the job. And then we take on Cyrus here for the first time, where you get Surf from Cynthia's grandmother. No issues there. Jolteon is really good against Cyrus's team. And then we run into Barry once again, puppy guarding the 6th gym here. This is right on the bridge, and we take on the Floatzel with the Leafeon. Everyone is getting battered and bruised in this fight, but thankfully we have the priority quick attack, and we finish Barry right there. And as you can see, Vaporeon, Leafeon, Umbreon, and Espeon are all hurting, but thankfully no casualties. And then for our 6th gym battle against Byron here, we just work around the Metal Burst from the Bastion, and we just fade away with a stab, super effective Surf. Beautiful stuff. And then against Commander Saturn here, his Toxicroak messes up my Jolteon pretty badly, but we have some really healthy options, especially in the Vaporeon. We pivot into Bronzer, comes down, does some pitiful damage off the top, but Hearthome sees it through to the end, and we beat yet another Galactic Commander. And then Sunny Shore, our Jolteon, absolutely has his way against Mars. The Purr Ugly and the rest of her squad could not withstand the spark in Sunny Shore's heart. We do tank the slash, no problem there, but we just fade away with a Thunderbolt. Let's go. And then in Mount Mortar, we get the Eevee encounter. So we were gifted an Eevee from Bebe in Hearthome City that we then turned into the Jolteon. So that freed up our Eevee encounter. So we can go ahead and secure this. And I do believe this one is going to turn into the Flareon. All right, next we make it through the snowy mountainside and make our way to Candace here, the 7th gym leader with her ice-type Pokemon. A beautiful timing, getting this Flareon as the fire typing just completely shreds her team like it did last time. So the 6th attempt is going great. Let's hopefully just rebound from that failed 3rd and just see this through to the end. And now that we have Jolteon this time around, Cyrus proves no threat in his own Galactic HQ as we one-shot the Sneasel with a fadeaway crit, then we one-shot the Crobat, and guess what? We one-shot the Honchkrow as well. A very, very clean sweep by Sunny Shore. And then you get a little bit cocky, you get a little bit comfortable against Saturn right after Cyrus. We almost get one-shot crit. The Vaporeon holds on with no HP, so we've got to pivot. We're going to go ahead and lock in Eterna here, potentially getting that 4x super effective, and we are faster, so that's really nice there. However, we do have Umbreon as well, who could potentially tank that, and I was kidding. We do swap into the Umbreon, however, the Poison Jab connects and poisons us on the swap, so this Toxicroak is absolutely flexing right now. And if we get crit, we absolutely die. And honestly, just a base Poison Jab could kill us as well, so I'm not willing to risk this. And now we are actually going to go into a different Pokemon, potentially that being the Espeon, and we can outspeed. I don't think this Toxicroak has Sucker Punch, which is really nice, so we get the Reflect up just in case the X-Scissor comes down and we get a little bit too scared with the Reflect. We should have just went Psychic, we get a fadeaway crit, and we are good to go. Let's get out of here. The Mars and Jupiter back-to-back fight goes really well up there right before the Distortion World, and Vaporeon is just a fantastic Pokemon in this fight, as you can just spam Surf, and usually you don't get too punished for it. So we take that, and now it's time for redemption against Cyrus. Alrighty, since we wiped here last time, I definitely had to take a longer time thinking of a strategy to win this. Now, we do have 5 Pokemon here because none of the Eeveelutions can learn Rock Climb, so Machamp's kind of pinch hitting there, but the Houndoom comes down and we meet him with Sunny Shore. Our Jolteon get him to about half HP. We tank that no problem, and we fade away with the next Thunderbolt. Beautiful stuff there. The reason I didn't go Vaporeon was because that Thunderfang could really mess us up, and now we are primed and ready for the Gyarados that comes down next. Jolteon completely fades on the Sea Leviathan, and that only leaves 3 Pokemon left. Weavile is here, an immaculate speed stat, really good coverage. So this one's going to be a little bit tipsy here. Do we swap around? Do we just go for the Thunderbolt? Do we risk the crit? Weavile is probably going to get a fake out down here just to get the party started. So let's go ahead and swap into Jubilife to tank that. No problem there. Really good stuff. That way we didn't have to swap into potentially an X-Scissors, as that does massive damage, it being super effective. However, we do get the Confuse Ray down. So now there is a coin flip. It is 50-50 that Weavile hits himself or breaks through and just rains down, but really all we need is 1 or 2 turns of Weavile smacking himself in the face, and there is one, and that is all we need as we get the Surf in there as well. And now we should be in prime position to take down Weavile as it hits himself again, and Hearthome completely slips through the window there and takes down the Weavile. The Honchkrow comes in next with a massive Drill Peck. It is stab. We barely hold on with 63 HP, but we get a fadeaway crit with the Ice Beam. The Honchkrow falls, and that only leaves the Crobat, and now we have really good options here. We could swap into Espeon for the super effective Psychic. We could swap into Jolteon for the super effective Thunderbolt, and we can swap into Snow Point for the super effective Ice Beam. So we have so many good options. The only problem is Crobat has access to Confuse Ray as well as Cross Poison, which could do a critical hit and poison us, and there is the confusion. But Snow Point sees through the lies and completely fades with a stab. Super effective Ice Beam. Get wrecked, Cyrus. This is the 6th attempt. And that brings us to our final gym battle against Volkner. He's got his electric type Pokemon. Can we do this without losing anybody? The sixth attempt continues as the Jolteon comes down. The Thunder Wave cheese is here, but we get the synchronize, and now Jolteon is locked in here with us. We get a nice stab psychic down as well. We use up one of Minato's heals, and we finish off the Jolteon. So now the Raichu comes down, looking rather chubby, very huggable, and the super effective Signal Beam is here to stay. However, we tank that no problem, bring the Raichu down to a safer space, and I really thought the Mind Plate boosted Espeon would do more damage with the stab psychics, and we have the level advantage, but these guys are holding on just fine here, so we got to think about that. As the Focus Blast comes down, I have completely stepped outside of our parameters here as Snow Point tanks a monstrous fighting type move, but we hold on. The special defense drops and we fade away with the Ice Beam. That was insanely scary. However, we are here in this moment. The Luxray comes down, and now Eterna is paralyzed. Snow Point is bleeding out. We have 4 more healthy options. Obviously, you don't really want to go into Heart Home because of that water type weakness with the electricity coming down as we get paralyzed on the swap in, but another synchronizes here, and now we have a Confuse Ray and Paralysis down on the Luxray, and that's not the worst thing I've ever seen. However, that Electivire is looking rather scary in the back right now. We get a fadeaway crit on the super effective dig. The Luxray is gone, and that only leaves the Ace. However, it is a terrifying Ace as he's level 50 and hits like an absolute truck. The Thunder Punch comes down. We tank that pretty decently, though, given Umbreon's defense. We're going for the dig. He breaks through the confusion, gets another Thunder Punch down, and is that a critical? It is not, but it is some raw damage as we hold on with 18 HP. He tries to get the quick attack down, but we dodge because we were underground. Electivire is now flirting at exactly 50 HP. And now, do you swap into Sunny Shore? Do you swap into Heart Home? Or do you swap into Twin Leaf here? Twin Leaf could definitely tank an electric type move, but I don't really know about any other coverage moves that Electivire has. He probably has Ice Punch or Fire Punch as well. I'm not 100% sure, as we tank the quick attack on the swap, and then we get a quick Lock Pop with the Surf, and we don't even have to worry about it. Electivire's deleted, and Volkner forks over the final gym badge. Let's go. And as far as this video goes, thank you so much for your time. I really do appreciate it, and I will catch you on the flip. Peace.